Hi everyone. Today I will be discussing about a fragrance from the house of Paco Rabanne. Paco Rabanne, who doesn't know Paco Rabanne, right? So usually Paco Rabanne wants to give a character and a personality to each of the fragrance that they launch. For example, Paco Rabanne wanted to launch a fragrance that has a personality of a rock star, that has like a bad boy rock and roller vibe. So they launched this fragrance, Black Excess. And later on, they also wanted to launch a fragrance that gives characteristics of a famous and a rich person. So they launched 1 million. Likewise, they wanted to launch a fragrance that represents a champion. The champion that many men wants to be, and the champion that many women desires. So they launched this fragrance, Invictus. So this is the fragrance that I'm going to talk about today. This fragrance was launched in 2013 and in EDT version. And there are 4 perfumers who worked to create this fragrance. Firstly, it was Veronique Newberg, then Anna Filippo, then Oliver Polge, and Dominique Ropion. And 4 of these perfumers, they used to work in the house of IFF, International Flavor and Fragrances, at that time. Anna Filippo and Dominique Ropion still working in IFF as a master perfumer, and Oliver Polge moved to Chanel as an in-house perfumer, and Veronique Newberg, now currently she's working in another fragrance house called Man. So before I go on to explain about how this fragrance smells, about the olfactory details, I want to talk about the background of this fragrance. The inspiration behind creating this fragrance. Because to me, of course, fragrance, how it smells is important, because this is the core benefit of a fragrance. But also, if you know about the inspiration of the fragrance, how this fragrance is created, you tend to understand the fragrance better. You tend to love the fragrance better. So that's the reason I always try to understand the inspiration behind creating a fragrance. So before launching this fragrance, the marketing director of Paco Rabanne, Jean Holtzman, he said he wanted to launch a fragrance that does not have typical olfactory pyramid. It has to be completely different and yet complement getting. So Veronique Newberg, who is the main perfumer of this fragrance, she said in Moody Report that she wanted to create a fragrance that smells like a skin of a champion with a frozen touch on a burning skin. And it was quite challenging, because to create a fragrance like that, she had to go through a lot. It took them around 2.5 years, over 5,500 version of it to finalize the fragrance. So you can understand the hardship that they went through to create this fragrance. And after they create this fragrance, Veronique Newberg said, I felt like a champion myself after creating this fragrance. So that tells us that this fragrance was really created with having a championship in mind. Even the bottle, if you look at it, that it looks like a trophy, which also represents a champion. This is a quite nice fragrance to me. It has a mixture of citrus, aquatic, floral, green, and woody accords. It has a mixture of many different accords, but initially you will get mixture of citrus notes and aquatic notes together. It is fresh and also sweet at the same time. It smells as if I am down by the seaside, and sea breezes are coming in, and I'm just crushing some oranges and grapefruit by the sea. But it is sweet rather than salty. After a while, you will start to get some floral and green notes. And it gets more interesting when this submerge into mixture of herbaceous notes and patchouli. It has bay leaf. So bay leaf, as you may know, that it is used in condiments, in cooking for food in many countries, especially also in Southeast countries. They use bay leaf as a condiment. And after, like during the dry down, you will get salty ambergris, you will get some woodsy and a touch of amber. So this is a very mass appealing, sweet and fresh scent to me. This is a good compliment getting fragrance. Like, I have gone through some of the experience and feedbacks from the users of this fragrance, and most of them say that, many of them say that they got a lot of compliments, especially from the women. And I also personally got a lot of compliments from women. So I can say, if I take all these feedbacks and also my personal experience into account, I think I can say that women love this fragrance. And this is a very young, playful and energetic fragrance, and I think it is best to be worn with your casual attire, like if you are going by the seaside or with your friends, or if you're like going out with your friends on a casual, on a casual day, or even if you're going for clubbing. This is a good fragrance. This is not a masterpiece. I wouldn't say this is a masterpiece, but I think this is a good creation and this is a successful fragrance. When it comes to performance, this is a good fragrance. Like, it lasts around 7 to 9 hours, and also it projects very heavy, like especially first 3 hours it projects very heavy, and following that, like 1 hours, like 4 hours or 4.5 to 5 hours, it projects like moderate, like I would say 2 feet, 2.5 feet maximum. So that's also very good, like in the later hours. So this is a very good value for money. Like, this is not extremely expensive, but if I say like the fragrance and also how the way it smells and also it performs, I think this is a good value for money. And this is a very versatile fragrance, like you can wear during any season or any time, like during day or even at night. But I wouldn't say that this fragrance is good for very like cold nights or very cold months. I mean, during cold month it's okay, but if it gets too cold, I don't think this fragrance is suitable, because it doesn't have the warmth or the dark vibes in this fragrance to keep you warm. So this is a citrus, aquatic, green, floral and woody fragrance. This was designed to stand out. This was designed to be surprising and also a compliment getting fragrance. So I think this was successful on that. And I would say this is, like I said before as well, this is not a fragrance, this is not a masterpiece, because you will get a lot of fragrances probably smelling similar to this. But I would say this is a blind buy worthy. This, you can never go wrong with this fragrance. I personally like this fragrance. This is not a fragrance that I can live without, but I like this fragrance. As you can see, I've used most of this fragrance. So that's all I wanted to share about this fragrance. Thank you for watching. This is Rakib from Numa Fragrance. Bye.